Match 1 of the Super X Cup tournament, Christopher Daniels versus Davey Richards, ROH versus GFW. Both of these fighters already in the ring. Let's start the action. You hear that opening bell. As always, in the booth, it is your host, Arachnid Soul. Greco-Roman knuckle lock that time, and a drop toe hold from Davey Richards, the lone wolf. Irish whip that time to the corner, follows it up with a fireman's carry. Davey Richards in the black and red trunks. Almighty Christopher Daniels, known to many still as the Fallen Angel, in the black and red singlet. Clubbing shot to the back and the camel clutch. Daniels, believe it or not, celebrating his 25th year in the sport of professional wrestling. Christopher Daniels, here tonight, looks to put Ring of Honor on the map in this tournament, looks to stay alive as the sole competitor from ROH Pro Wrestling. Davey Richards, one of two men in this tournament representing Global Force Pro Wrestling, but he wants the glory, he wants the gold, he wants the championship for himself. As we see the combination of Muay Thai style roundhouse kicks followed up by the knee bar. Let's see how this thing plays out. Your third man in the squared circle or squared hexagon, depending upon which product you watch, is Mark Slick Johnson. Lateral press that time, and Slick, speak of the devil, there to call the rope break. CD, high crotch, scoop and a slam into the modified key lock. Davey Richards, not only a great pro wrestler, not only a great former amateur wrestler as we saw him duck the lariat that time, but also the king of the American strong style, training in both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as we see the ankle lock, as well as Muay Thai. As the two fighters exchange blows in center ring, when we talk about the training of Christopher Daniels, the man fighting out of the City of Angels, it all started 25 years ago in Windy City Pro Wrestling in Chicago. As Christopher Daniels dropped that elbow, Daniels, responsible for putting both Ring of Honor as well as Global Force Wrestling, formerly TNA Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, on the pro wrestling map back in year 2002. Daniels leading the prophecy in Ring of Honor at the same time. One of the three members of Triple X in Nashville at the fairgrounds alongside Elix Skipper and Low-Key. Christopher Daniels, the talk of the wrestling business at the time, not only making waves in Nashville, but also the Murphy Rec Center for Ring of Honor in Philadelphia, PA. Daniels now gets caught up in the double wrist lock, the Kimura that time from Davey Richards. Daniels able to get the out, both men lock up, three-quarter cravat chancery. Davey Richards picks his man up, misses with the rolling soul, rear gut wrench into the belly-to-back suplex, and Daniels tops his man. Only gets a 1 count according to referee Mark Slick Johnson. Irish whip that time, and Davey Richards scores with the running forearm shiver. When we talk about both of these fighters, we have to talk about their history as both singles and tag team wrestlers. In terms of tag teams, both Daniels and Richards have held gold in Global Force Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and even over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Both of these guys, former IWGP, that's International Wrestling Grand Prix World Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. As we see the crossface right now from Almighty Christopher Daniels. By the way, over in New Japan, Christopher Daniels holding that tag team title with American Dragon Bryan Danielson. Davey Richards doing it over there with Rocky Romero. Both men back to center ring now. Lock up. Daniels sent to the corner. Davey Richards with a pinning combination. There's a backslide, gets a 2 count, but we continue the fight. Both men back up. Irish whip that time from the Fallen Angel. Hip attack there in the corner, down goes Richards, and Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels drops back into the Muda lock. Once again, Davey Richards not able to connect with that spin kick. Louis Spicolli driver. Fallen Angel on top, hooks the foreleg. Only gets a 2 count that time. The fight continues, and let's talk about the fact as we see Lekebra Conilo, the tilt-the-world backbreaker, and a 2 count. That there has been a lot of talk in this sport of Christopher Daniels maybe retiring. Full head of steam there, and there's a tope suicida. At the same time, we've also heard that this might be the last year in the sport for Davey Richards. Davey Richards possibly leaving to pursue a medical career. Believe it or not, Davey Richards already an EMT, looking to get more education. Christopher Daniels could not score with that set of jabs. Fireman's carried that time into the knee bar. The leg grapevine from the hunter, Davey Richards. Daniels kicks his man off. And once again here tonight, we see the camel clutch. Davey Richards manages to inch his way out of the hole. Forearm shiver miss, front face lock, and shades of the Dynamite Kid with that snap suplex. Here we see the Satoru Gatami, shades of so many greats. Hiroshi Hase, Bret Hitman Hart, Sting. Irish whip that time to the corner. Christopher Daniels, front chancery, sets his man up on the Falcon's nest, but Davey Richards has the answer with the forearm shiver. How smart is Christopher Daniels to roll to safety on the outside? Daniels has spent the better part of the past 5 years. Wait a minute, shoulder block. CD with the lateral press, looking to steal one. The better part of the past 5 years alongside Frankie Kazarian in a tag team. They call themselves the best tag team in the business, and they call themselves The Addiction, sometimes also known as Bad Influence. When we talk about Davey Richards, we have to talk about Eddie Edwards, the Wolves, the American Wolves. No more, but one of the best tag teams to come down the pike in the past decade. Rear gut wrench that time into the bridging German. Christopher Daniels only getting a 2 count as we saw the kick out from Davey Richards. The team of Daniels and Kazarian winning tag team gold in both Global Force Wrestling as well as Ring of Honor. The same can be said as we saw that shining wizard, Daniels on top. Is this it? 2.9. Christopher Daniels almost walking out as the victor in the first match of the Super X Cup tournament. Uranagi that time. This might be it. Best moonsault ever. BME that time. Is it BME for the 1, 2, 3? No, it is not. The American Wolves, Davey and Eddie, have also held tag team gold. Alarm clock in both ROH as well as Global Force Wrestling. Davey drops the guillotine that time. Irish whip sent off to the far side. Shades of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, deep arm drag. There's the Kylo kick. Both men also former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champions. Hell, Davey Richards holding gold not only in Ring of Honor, but also a former PWG, Full Impact Pro, and CZW World Heavyweight Champion. Both men down, both men back up. Forearm shiver that time from Davey Richards. Davey looking to put this thing away. Backbreaker, picks his man back up, Irish whip that time, and the Lone Wolf scores with that Lariato. Forearm shiver, and the Lone Wolf now turning up. There's the hammer of the gods. Davey Richards looking to put away almighty Christopher Daniels. Daniels has other plans as we see the drop toe hold. Side cradle that time. Christopher Daniels might have him here. Christopher Daniels defeats Davey Richards in the first round of the 2017 Super X Cup tournament. In weeks to come, we will announce the other participants in this tournament. Stay tuned to this channel. I cannot believe it. Who will Christopher Daniels go on to face in round 2? As always, it has been your host, Arachnid Soul. Come back, follow the tournament. Thank you, and good night.